Hi there YouTube, today a new knife video, so I grabbed a cup of coffee, cheers. And what we're going to look at today is a Ganzo knife, the Ganzo G712. Now Ganzo has been around for a little bit of time, and this is one of their older models. It is inspired by the Benchmade Bedlam knife, and as you can see, a lot of switches on this one, both one end and the other, and I'll just start at the tip and work my way down. Now, the blade, some call it tactical, I call it a Persian style blade, a swept up thing. It is 440C steel, and as you can see, it's even got the Firebird logo, which is some of the later Ganzos get that Firebird logo. I don't know what is the thought behind that Firebird thing, but well, now they call themselves Firebird by Ganzo. As I said, the blade rather sharp from out of the box. I didn't sharpen this one, and as you can see, a ramp here, a bit harsh on your finger, but I guarantee you your finger won't go anywhere anyway. Sharpening choil, always a good thing. And as you can see, if you go to the handle, it is an axis lock. I'm not the biggest fan of axis locks, but this one is quite nice. Not super soft, not very hard, so I think reasonably right. G10 scales with some pattern, which is quite nice. It won't go anywhere, and as you can see, very ergonomic. Just room for fingers and everything here. And it is indeed very nice in hand, but the problem when you have it in hand is this pocket clip. As you can see, the knife is quite beefy in itself, and this pocket clip adds a lot of size, and at least in my hand, the pocket clip makes it very big, and I think this would be a hotspot in the long run. I might want to take it off actually, and I tried. It doesn't affect your the action. You can easily flick it. Some of them you have to use the pocket. Some of the knives you have to use the pocket clips as a sort of counterweight when you flick it, but that's not super necessary here. Fit and finish, everything is flush. As you can see, even some 3D on the spacers, sort of an hourglass shape, and everything is nicely rounded off and flush. Even some, I don't know if I can show you, but some milling inside the knife to take off a little bit of weight, but still it is a heavy knife. I'll just put those specs in for you. Yeah. And last but not least for me, the action. As you can see, as I said, I'm not super fond of this axis lock, but That's by design. It's not my favorite, but it easily flies out, and yeah, on camera a bit more difficult. It is by far the most smooth and easy deployable Ganzo knife I have. I have a few Ganzos with this axis lock. And what I did before I knew better was to try to tune the action on some of my other Ganzos with this axis lock. Some of you might know it, some of you not. Inside here there's what they call an omega spring, which is sort of a heavy piano wire, and you can sorry, you can take it apart and you can sort of press the spring a bit together so that it is not nearly as hard as it would be. But what happens if you do that? If you get a softer button up here, but at the same time this lock here, you can see the bar here, also acts as detent. So what happens is that if you loosen the spring, you loosen the detent as well. I didn't realize that, so it's not too bad, but I don't like that loose detent. And at the same time, if you loosen the tension, you also loosen the tension on the lock bar up here that holds the blade. So in effect, you make it a bit more dangerous actually. Not a big deal, but I think it was. I didn't realize it, and you have to think about it if you loosen this spring. Don't make it too loose anyway. Just to go on with the action, as you can see, the blade is more or less free floating and free falling, which is a beautiful thing, I think. Inside this one there's what do we call them, the washers, bronze washers, but as you can see, easily closed. It just falls down. Remember to take care of your fingers, because it just falls shut. And this pocket clip actually pushes your pinky finger right up nearly against the blade. I'm really not fond of this this clip. I don't know how they could do it differently, but it's in the way, and it makes ergonomics a bit bad. Well, Ganzo 712. A nice knife. I can easily recommend it. It won't be a gem for me, but it's nice. It's a Persian style, and it fits nicely in my collection. With this, have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.